So you want to start a podcast, but you don't want to invest a ton of money? Well, I'm going to show you how to start one on the cheap. Hey everybody, it's Jonathan. I've been doing podcast editing and video editing for years now, but the thing is that a lot of times people want you to spend a ton of money on like studio mics and lights and all of this crazy stuff. You can just start one. This video is going to be talking way more about mindset and equipment than it is about distribution. I've got a video that will be coming out about distributing a podcast, so go ahead and subscribe if you want to be on the lookout for that. So first things first, equipment. What do you need? Need is different than what you want or what might be convenient at the start. So I'm going to start us off at the base level. I'm assuming that you have a smartphone. Most smartphones have an audio recorder built into them. I mean, you could start just by holding your phone up to your face if you really wanted to, but quality really does meet a certain expectation that people are looking for with a podcast. So you're going to want to get a microphone. I've got 3 suggestions for you here on this one. The first one is the Shure MV6. This is a newer microphone. It's really simple and it runs about $159. It's just a USB mic, so you can actually plug it into your phone and record straight to your voice memos using that microphone and get a really good result with it. So again, the Shure MV6 would be probably the most budget-friendly, great quality microphone. You can also use it with a laptop if you have that available to you. The next tier up is going to be something like the Rode PodMic, and that is a nice microphone. It's good. It's built tough. You know, it doesn't feel cheap at all, and it's going to cost you $170 to $190, but it is, again, USB, so you can plug it straight into a phone or into a computer. My last suggestion is going to be the Shure MV7. That's actually what this one is right here, and it's USB or XLR if you happen to have an XLR interface. This one runs about $250, but you also get more adjustments with it. You've got the volume, the monitoring. I've actually talked about this in a previous video about smartphone audio. So that would be my suggestion. Pick from those 3 microphones. Just kind of start. Record to a voice memo or record to the voice memos on your computer if you have it. So now you have a microphone, but let's talk about mindset and commitment for a second. Most podcasts don't make it past 10 episodes, and the ones that do make it past 10 episodes have usually established some sort of audience that they're able to interact with. So my first challenge to you is going to be make it 10 episodes. Find your podcasting voice. I had a podcast years ago that now is not quite as active with one of my friends. We did 200 episodes of that podcast. We recorded every single week, and you know what? We found an audience, and we got like 10,000 listens or something like that happening. We started getting ad revenue. We started monetizing it, and it was a really great experience. I have another podcast right now with friends of mine where we just talk about the show Survivor. We're 6 episodes in on that, and we've got a couple hundred listeners going on. So I think the mindset needs to be committing to it, but also putting something out that you're proud of at the most accessible level. So now that your mindset is there, what about actually recording it? Well, we've talked about voice memos. You can record straight to your phone and at that point distribute it to a provider. And again, I'm going to have a video coming out about distribution. Or you can go with something like Riverside. I've got a link down in my bio for Riverside. This is what my podcast uses. It is an unbelievable tool, especially if you're not familiar with editing programs. It costs you $20 a month, which if you really think about it is so worth it if you're not having to buy a several $100 program or something like that. And you can record video with your podcast and edit based on like transcripts and all of that stuff. It's an unbelievable tool. I definitely would suggest going this route if you can. Now, you do have to have Google Chrome or a compatible browser on a laptop, but if you have a guest that doesn't have a laptop, there's a Riverside app that you can actually go and download and plug a mic into it just like I'm doing right now and record the guest that way with their own phone. So again, I think that's $20 a month. If you pay yearly, it's more like $15 a month, but you're paying it as one lump sum. So all in all, spend $150 to $250 on a microphone, that could be it if you really wanted it to be. But if you're going to have guests or it's multiple hosts, then something like Riverside will add to your flexibility. There are tools around improving your audio if you have a lot of noise in the background, things like that. So I would check that out. I've got links in the descriptions for purchasing these microphones, and then you can go to the Riverside app as well down there in the bio. Thanks for watching. Again, make sure you're subscribed so you can keep up when I start talking about distribution of podcasting and how I think I've figured out the best route for that.